I'm going to go with Vitality to 3-0.
Is Vitality.
We got to start with Vitality 3-0.
Obviously, Vitality is my 3-0 pick.
Vitality 3-0 for anyone.
Well, this is awkward. This insane clutch and so many other insane plays changed Counter-Strike forever. But how did a team ranked outside of the top 20 do all of this? 30 victories in a row, 6 tier 1 titles, and dominating the whole scene for the first 6 months of the year. But now we're at the major. And I have to ask, did we peak too fast, or are we still at the top? We are ranked outside of the top 20, but we have just had an amazing run in stage 2 of the major. Can it continue? Can we do what all the other top teams has tried to do all year? To dethrone Vitality? Well, we have to wait and see. I don't really talk about picks and ban stages, but in a best of 1, this is a mind game in itself, so let's try to understand how we ended up on Inferno. Legacy started bans by removing Train and Nuke, which Train is the #1 ban in every match they play, as they never really play the map, and Nuke I don't think as a team they're so comfortable on. So Vitality ended up banning these maps, as this plays into Vitality's game plan, with the first ban being Ancient, as it's their first map to ban in every match they play. And then they would go on to ban Mirage and Anubis. As we have seen versus top teams like Falcons and Mouse, they've been struggling on the map, and there are many key weaknesses on these maps for Vitality a team like Legacy could have predicted. The rest of the ban phase went as expected, since both Legacy and Vitality's #1 or first pick when they play in best of 3s or 5s are Inferno. And here, you have to remember, Legacy has much more proper data versus Vitality on Inferno, as Vitality has played it so many times at the highest level, while Vitality has much less tier 1 data about how Legacy will approach Inferno. So already after the pick and ban, we saw Vitality being on the back foot, as this is the disadvantage of playing a map many times.
Stop scrolling. Want cheaper skins and quick cash? Let me put you on to skin.land, the easiest way to buy and sell skins safely and fast. Are you selling any skins? Use my code AGONOR to get a free $10 bonus on your first sale. Pick the skin you want to sell, choose your payment method, confirm the trade, and boom, your money is on the way. No risk, no waiting. Still using the Steam market? Let's compare. Same skin, same condition. Different prices. Steam is pricey, Skinland way cheaper. Plus, you got multiple refill options for grabbing fresh, hot skins. So shout out to Skinland for sponsoring this video. Bookmark the site, claim your bonus, and don't overpay for skins ever again. Now, let's get back to the video.
Vitality won the pistol round, and this game seemed like it would end like we all thought, with Vitality just running over Legacy to easily secure the 2-0 start of the major. But this would not be the case, as Legacy bought into this round. A buy in round 2 is not too uncommon, after losing the pistol round on T-side, as if you got the plant you can easily buy some SMGs and armor to actually have a fighting chance at winning round 2. But Legacy, they didn't even get the plant, so this second round buy will catch Vitality off guard, and that is how Legacy wants to win this game, as they know Vitality way better and in more detail than Vitality knows them. Legacy buys 4 Tech 9s and a P250, combined with 3 smokes and 4 flashes, so it's a clear indication Legacy wants to go for a fast take towards the sites, as the extra smoke they buy will be used to quickly extinguish Molotovs or as a fake, as well as the flashes has the same purpose of faking and taking sight. As well as Inferno is one of the few maps in Counter-Strike that is based around bottlenecks, with how shallow banana, mid and apps is, meaning if you just put enough pressure on these parts of the map, you can crack them open, and this is what makes fast plays and just pistol buys so effective on the map. Vitality starts the round by having 3 players towards B, with Apex far back here on site to help the banana players with utility, and then the 2 other players are playing here on the corner to make sure if they are being pushed they can easily fall back. While Rob starts early on long using this nade before he falls back to pit, and then Savu, who started on short, will fall back to apps when Robs leaves long. As here Vitality don't want to be split up on the A-hold with only 2 players, as a smoke or just a full-on rush towards one of the players can ruin it all. So that's why they're not splitting up and rather playing more together, although way more passive. Legacy starts the round by having all 5 players in middle, with a smoke in mid, some utility top banana and just winning this part, as they want Vitality to make a mistake or give them just something early to work off of. Flamesy and Messi use some utility to allow Flamesy to fully clear banana, and this is Vitality's protocol to have 2 of the B players leaving B to go to A and hold long. As with banana cleared, Legacy can only be in mid and apps right now, and Vitality are not wrong, but here Legacy lines up these flashes, as they are not going to take middle, no. They just did that to leave banana open and make sure some pressure towards A was felt, as this would make the rotation from Vitality much more likely. And with Flamesy clearing banana like this, Legacy's already heard his play and understood how Vitality would play off this information, by leaving B weaken, and quickly Legacy wins banana control. On the execute, Flamesy and Apex finds a kill each, and here it looks like the read Legacy had was just that, a read, nothing real. But Legacy again proves us wrong. In the 3v5, Legacy are able to solo out Flamesy, force Messi to try to make a play, as he don't want Apex to die alone on site, as Vitality then has to retake in a 3v3, but here he is found, as well as Apex falls, and from a 3v5 it's now a 3v2. Legacy goes for this setup here, a perfect 180-degree setup, and they can find Cyvu with it, but Robs will be able to find some kills by winning the 1v3 with some amazing shots, but he has no kit and loses the round on the time. Just classic Robs man, always too late to the retake. After going round 3 and 4 with some iffy buys on the Vitality side, we will finally see Vitality able to meet Legacy with a full buy. But will that be enough? As Legacy has already gotten quite a lead versus Vitality early on, and if Vitality loses this round, they are set back to a save or at best a half buy. Never ideal, as that will make their economy even worse and give Legacy a crazy lead early on. As the economy in Counter-Strike 2 works against the CT side, as their main gun, the M4s, cost $400 more than the AK or 2 flashes, as well as the CT side will need a kit, so that is another $400 or a smoke and a decoy. And lastly, the Molotovs on the CT side cost $500. And quickly, I know this is what the CT Molly is called, but my English accent makes it sound dumb, so I will keep on calling it the CT Molotov or just Molotov from now on. Back to the explanation. Versus the Molotov on the T side costing only $400. So here is how different the price will be for a full buy on the CT side and T side. So it's important to save money on the CT side, and especially on Inferno, where the CT side relies so much on expensive utility like smokes and Molotovs to keep the T away. Legacy early starts the round with 2 players in second middle using the default utility for apps to make sure the CT side can't take apps and bedroom, with Lotto jumping up to take control of it. Then Legacy will have 3 players in bottom middle, using utility towards banana and holding in middle until it's smoked off. Vitality are in a very default setup, with having 2 players on B with 1 on the corner and the other with utility ready to help from site, but with Legacy smoke towards top banana, Flamesy can't do much and goes more passive. While over on A, Vitality will have 1 player long who starts the round by dropping utility for the B players, then have Cyvu taken under roof control and Robs holding apps close with an SMG, to be a bait for Cyvu and be able to kill any players in boiler. When the utility from Legacy and apps comes from second middle, we will see Robs use this Molotov here from boiler to burn out any players going for the balcony jump, and here he can hear Lotto burning and giving information to Vitality about his player. Legacy can't win a lot towards banana, and here wants to win mid control, as putting a lot of pressure towards middle forces the B players to either rotate or take banana control. So this can be a good way of forcing Vitality to make a mistake. Lotto uses this Molotov for the player under the roof, giving away his position, and this is where Rob's counter to this play shines, as when you go for this Molotov you don't check close. So when Cyvu has to fall, Rob just sprints to action, and here can find the first kill of the round and an upgraded gun. And this is key from Robs, as he runs up to apps to clear this part, to make sure there is no players close by that can do a counter to this play. So an important detail a lot of players don't do. On all of this though, Nism has snuck his way through apps, as with Robs taking apps and Messi playing inside of this corner, it forces Cyvu to still hold middle, leaving balcony open, and here Nism can walk out and find a trade. It's almost like Legacy can read Vitality and have a counter to everything they do. Vitality are forced to leave mid open, as Messi walks back to site to look for the player who now has gone to pit, while Robs will be fast to take second mid control, hoping to wrap around Legacy and trying to win just some map control back to make the retake easier. But Legacy wastes no time to take the space left open by Vitality. Lux takes first contact on short, finding one player, and this forces Apex to swing for the trade, as he only knows where Lux is. So this is where he aims, allowing Dumao to peek from long and deal with him. And within 10 seconds, it's a 4v2 in the favor of Legacy. Remember, this round started as a 5v4 in the favor of Vitality, and Robs and Flamesy has to save, and Legacy is starting to fly away with this game from Vitality. Next buy round again, as we can see on the score, the saved guns that Vitality brought into round 6 did not impact the game, as Legacy still are perfect with 5 rounds in a row. And before this video, I was working on a FaZe versus Legacy match, and something we saw there on us too was how Legacy after winning one round just runs away with the game, as they managed to turn a 0-5 half versus FaZe into a 7-5 half, winning 7 rounds in a row, something they're experts at. Vitality starts the round with a default 2-3, where Cyvu on the AWP will peek middle, and here is something important for any players wanting to use the best spawn to peek middle. Jump like this from Cyvu to really make this peek faster, and I will put a POV of somebody not jumping and just look how faster Cyvu's way of peeking is, so he saves a lot of time doing these jumps. So please do them, but remember you have to strafe while jumping, meaning using A and D and not W to create speed. Then Vitality will have Robs doing the apps Molotov and play from short. Vitality will send 3 players to B with the default setup of 2 in banana and 1 on site ready with utility. As from here he can use some good utility for a banana take, banana hold or banana retake. Legacy will go for 2 players in second middle, taking control of it, using utility towards apps but not jumping into apps, as I've learned from the last time that Vitality will molt a bedroom to make sure Legacy can't win it. Then Legacy will use some top banana utility and just like last time have some players holding mid and banana. But here we can see Legacy wants to push Vitality more passive, as they will smoke top middle and banana to really make it so Vitality early can't have a lot of control and map information, as the default is to actually Molotov to do this play of denying information to the CT side. But Legacy here wants to rather use the smokes as they last longer and helps Legacy setting up behind them. Vitality tries to play in banana, and this tells us the whole plan of making sure Vitality can't get information and forcing them to go more passive is working, as Flamesy will Molotov behind the smoke to force any players close into the open and then breaking the smoke with a nade to peek down in banana. But here Dumao is fast enough to hide before Flamesy peeks it, where Legacy uses their mid smoke as it's quite low to boost over to try to catch any players on short off guard, but Robs were fast to leave short after the smoke bloomed to rather hold balcony. And as we can see, Legacy are gearing up for an A execute, as they have 2 players in apps ready to pop, as well as 3 players in middle ready to pop out and go for the A split. And again, ever Vitality are going for Legacy as a plan, as Vitality has focused more players towards B than A. And looking at apps, Legacy goes for this boost to look into pit and can spot Robs on this off angle, and Robs can just react fast enough to not get killed here. But here walks back, hoping they did not see him. But look at Nissam's POV, he saw Robs by far, and Legacy has the advantage. Then, to hit Vitality with another straight up Chad play, Legacy breaks the mid smoke, and here Sadsin can find Saivu, and from Sadsin POV he can see Saivu and he hits a nice flick. But from Saivu, this is how it looks like. He can't see anything at all, so this nade has to be a well lined up nade, as this worked way too good. And on the execute, Vitality are forced to save again as Legacy keeps on leaving Vitality at the starting line. We have only seen Legacy take an A site so far, as they have used fun setup and tricks to do so. So let's now see in round 9 how Legacy with a full buy will take B sites. Early on Legacy starts default, so I will not talk too much about it. But this is done to condition Vitality to think something on A will happen. So here Vitality takes top banana control, as they are not fully taking any control down banana, as they are kind of expecting to rotate over to A soon, as the A players has already fallen back and more passive in their holds. So Vitality again are in a 2-3 setup. This lack of top banana and car control from Vitality allows Legacy to have 3 players taking banana control, using these Molotovs to really force Vitality away from top banana, as this is a key area on Inferno to control for both sides. And again, Flamesy goes for a top banana peek, and here can't see anyone, just like last time. And as Vitality has a protocol, we will see 2 B players leaving B fully to go long, as this is their protocol when Flamesy can't see anyone on banana. But this is a mistake from Vitality, and insane to go for, as this has already happened once again, where the read was correct but Flamesy had to know the banana player just hid from him, just like in this round. This is such an easy protocol to activate from Vitality, as this is now the second time Legacies are able to do so. Flamesy alone goes for the CT jiggle here, as if he sees anyone he will smoke them off and wait for the rotation. So another play where you can just smoke him off and flash CT, and just like that, B-side is won. With Messi now taking long and just sound any information in middle dying out, we can see Apex wrote this over just in the nick of time, as Legacy are now going for the B execute, and Apex and Flamesy is found through the smoke to give Legacy full on-site control. And again, Vitality must be bad at these retakes, as they again goes for the save to give Legacy a lead of 8-1. Best team in the world, by the way. Wow. It's 9-3 in the favor of Legacy, as we now enter Sonic's Law, as it's called. Back in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Sonic Law was 4-11, as these leads of 7 rounds was the hardest leads to close down, and we saw many comebacks when the half ended like this. But in Counter-Strike 2, with MR12 and not MR15, and that means max round per half. Well, the new Sonic's Law is now 3-9. So can Vitality act on the law, like some greedy little lawyers, as there is so much on the line. The win streak is over, starting the major 0-1 is never ideal. Well, we have to wait and see. In the pistol round, we will see Vitality starting by having a lurker towards woods in banana and then send 4 players in middle, as the common pistol strat in tier 1 in Counter-Strike 2 is to use the Glocks to win top mid early, as Glocks are favored in these fights, and small pats. Legacy on the other hand are sending 3 players to B, where they will have 2 players hiding towards sandbags and calling for utility if they are pushed in banana, from the side player who will have 1 flash, so a very risky move to go for. While Legacy then will have 2 players in apps in this setup here, where you keep dual Berettas close like this to fight mainly someone peeking from the right side and keep the USPS further back to hold the left side, as well as duels close up in such a small spot like apps can be deadly. Vitality would use Apex as bait, with him walking up banana to take contact, and here he is found. This triggers the execute towards A for Vitality, as he will run out and win long control, while Legacy wins banana control. And here it gets fun, as Legacy has no long players. Vitality are forced to actually go A sites, as when you can't find any kills on long, you have no information towards this part, so then you rather use the long control to take A sites or do a A site split. Saivu finds Nism, and we can see all of Vitality starts to focus long, but only Robs will be holding for short until the bomb has been planted, so here Legacy has to find a way in, as a 4v4 retake on A site is almost impossible if you allow the T side to get into good spots on site, apps, pit and short. Robs and Saivu is found before Flamesy can trade, and this now puts Vitality back on being a man down, but with a 2v3. It's much harder to hold for the retake, as either you have to split up and give Legacy 1v1 fights, or both players gamble on one spot and hope Legacy only goes there. Not ideal when A site has 3 entry points, long, short naps. Vitality opts for play number 2, of fighting together, as using Glocks to run down USPS can be a valid strat, but not here, as the bomb is not planted for them. So them going long can allow Legacy to just go into site and start to defuse, and Legacy takes the pistol. In round 14, Vitality went for a buy, as a desperation to try to win something back and get a hold on this game, and this might have been the worst B-rush in the whole major. So it's all left to round 16. In round 16, Vitality has gone for all 5 players buying whatever they can, as Messi and Robs has prioritized guns over utility, while the rest has some utility. But here is the issue: just to take either sides on Inferno, you need at least 2 smokes, like this on A or this on B. And Vitality has a total of 3 smokes, meaning you can't really go for fakes or anything. So here, this is a limiting factor for them. Legacy sends 2 players to A early, with Nism looking middle with a jump before he goes into boiler, and pulls his Molotov out to make sure Vitality can't win bedroom control, while his other teammates on A will be holding here in this setup. Well, then they will keep 1 player here, and this might look dumb. So what is this player's role? Well, here this player will have a flash out to help the banana take, as well as he can quickly rotate over towards any sites when needed. Then Legacy will send their last 2 players to take banana, and here it all fails as Dumao is found, and Vitality has the advantage. Vitality are going for 2 in second middle and 3 in banana, and when they find this kill, we will see Vitality goes to take full on top banana control, and this all goes wrong, as Legacy can find 2 kills and win the advantage back, making this last round so much harder to win for Vitality. Vitality smokes CT, and here just have to take the fights, and they find 2 kills for 1 trade, and quickly it's all down to a 2v2. Vitality plans and opts to play a 180 degree setup towards CT, as Robs can look CT and coffin, while Flamesy can look banana and CT. But here Legacy smokes off Robs and banana, making the whole setup useless, and now Legacy can isolate both players from Vitality, and setting them up in 2v1 fights versus both Robs and Flamesy, and Vitality can't hold them off. Is this where Vitality crumbles or rises to the occasion? As right now, they are headed down the path we saw Falcons fall into in stage 2, and if they lose here, this amazing season will all be forgotten, and more remembered as the kings who fell when it mattered, and not the kings who dominated 5 months of Counter-Strike. How do I know this? Well, who remembers Liquid in 2019? Their Grand Slam win streak and 4 events in like 2 months? Well, no one, but they remember Liquid being caught off guard by a pick and ban versus Astralis and losing their chance of winning a major. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Thanks for watching, and here are 2 videos YouTube told me you would like. Bye.